Hey there, everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one-man review. Today I won't be doing a review of the story. I just got this new Ghost in the Shell fully compiled, like really big, thick hardcover that's the complete Ghost in the Shell. So I know a lot of people are probably like hesitant about buying this. Should I upgrade from the collections that I already have? So I just wanted to do a bit of a review of the print quality and the type of paper and things that it's on. It's things that we worry about here, or at least I worry about here on the channel a lot, and help people make decisions if they want to get this or not. I don't have any of the previous versions of Ghost in the Shell, so I'm very happy to have it all in one complete collection. It's a really well designed hardcover, and I quite like this extra detail that on the ribbon here, it's got like this silver foil in it, which just makes it look kind of like a microchippy look like that goes with Shirow's art in Ghost in the Shell. So I thought that was really cool. And the book itself like looks really beautiful. And again, I've never seen previous versions, so I don't know, maybe this is comparable. But in this version, they do have the color pages, but the paper is like really cheap, almost like toilet paper, newsprint feeling type of paper. And it just doesn't hold the color very well. The color gets really desaturated. There's a lot of muddiness. I don't know. I haven't seen other printings of this, but some of them almost don't even look like they've been scanned. They look like they're photographed. There's kind of like a sense of remove from the color pages, like a little bit of blurriness or something that maybe is just the paper, maybe it's just the images that Dark Horse has been provided. I'm not sure. So I found that a little bit disappointing, but again, I don't have a comparison for what it would be. Now, in the black and white pages, I think the reproduction is really, really good. It looks super crispy. Maybe here and there you get a little bit of fill in, but the tones look really good. It's pretty bright on the paper. The paper's not total bright white. You do get a lot of like show through on the paper where I can see, what's on the other side. So I was disappointed mainly with that, mainly with the choice of paper. I get it that paper's super expensive right now, and this is a huge book, so to do it like on glossy paper, which I think, given the sci-fi nature of Shirow's art, and especially how much of the book is in color, once you get to this point in the book, there's a huge section that's in color, and you just, with all of the blacks and the full range of value that he has, you start to lose details in the darks. Like this whole image here just isn't as, glossy and slick. And his work at this point has become so glossy and slick. And I just also think even the black and white art, it looks fine on this paper. The reproduction's great, no problem with that. But something about this, like the Battle Angel Alita ones that I have are on glossy paper versus like the Berserk ones, the Berserk ones are on better paper than this. This is even thinner than the Berserk ones. Those ones aren't glossy. And for Berserk, I like that because it's a little bit more, like medieval feeling. But for the sci-fi ones, there's something about that super high definition, really high contrast black and white that I personally like. I would say that about this. Like if you have an earlier version and it's on glossy paper or it's on better paper or something like that, I would probably keep that one. If your earlier version looks like it has like muddy artwork or something, then this might be a good upgrade. And especially, consider that the color stuff doesn't really reproduce that well in here, especially given how, like this is obviously like done in SketchUp or something like that. It just has that slick, schlocky look. That doesn't translate very well. The other thing that I know a lot of people are interested in, just because Brandon always talks about it, and Brandon told me to look out for it, Brandon Graham talks about it, is the pornographic scene that got edited out in all of the Dark Horse editions in here. And I believe this is the scene, the opening to issue 3, where she parachutes in onto this boat, and I guess there's supposed to be like a lesbian scene here, but it's still been edited out. So if you're hoping that this is an uncensored version and that would be your reason to upgrade, this would also, not be a reason. And this here where she's parachuting in, I know this character is supposed to have like invisibility thing on, but there's a real bad amount of fuzziness in here on the lines. Like the lines and the color almost blend together in a way that just doesn't make sense. And that's where I start to get a sense that these things have been photographed. They don't look scanned. They look photographed to me, whereas these look either properly photographed with proper negatives, or they've been rescanned, whereas these pages, I just don't think they have the best sources on them. So I imagine that's probably the case in all previous Dark Horse versions, but I don't know. I haven't seen them. So it's just not a review of the content of the book. I actually have never read Ghost in the Shell, so I'm going to need time to consume all this. And also, Brandon Graham is such an expert in Masamune Shirow. We still need to finish up our Appleseed series with him, and when we're done with that, I would like me, Sean, and Brandon to talk about Ghost in the Shell. So story-wise, it's too big and too long for a one-man review, and definitely we need to have Brandon involved. But I wanted to get this out there, so hopefully this is helpful for some of you in making the decision if you want to grab this or if you want to keep what you've got. If you enjoy what we're doing here on the channel, the best ways to support us are through our Patreon. We have some couple different tiers there with some exclusive content, some voting rights, things like that, some interactive content you can engage with, and we really appreciate that. That helps us buy the books that we review, so we try to turn that money right back around into the community. And then the best thing you can do is support the books that Sean's putting out through Living the Line Publishing. So we'll take a look at a couple of those now. Centralia is an awesome, gorgeous comic by rising Dutch star Miel van de Peet. This is his first work. It's a really great sci-fi story. There's a world in the future where the sun has gotten so hot that people can't be on the ground, so they have to run around. There's a lot of conceits that go with that. You know, what is the world that looks like? And I think you can see by the art that Sean's description of this book as like a Moebius for young adults, a YA Moebius, is a really great description of this really gorgeous and like wild, wacky, fun book. Thanks for following along. Take it away, Jack.
You want to see all these books? Smash that subscribe button and the like button and the bell, and then you get them.